Welcome to the first video of Trivial Knowledge of Pre-Calculus 11, everyone. In the playlist of Pre-Calculus 11, there will be 6 different series, as you guys can see on the screen right here. Each series of the topic, there will be different of episodes that will lay out in different practice questions and unique complex question that you guys will be touching in your school of the semester. So my video is going to show you guys how to solve this question correctly and different kind of techniques, so hope you guys will enjoy. So first we're going to go through rational expressions. At the beginning of the couple days in the semester, many teachers will going to show you the revision of the factoring knowledge, because factoring is the backbone that you guys will use and comes many times during in this material content of Pre-Calculus 11. So let's jump in right to factoring knowledge right here. So these are the questions I will go through and solve in this video. I will gonna scroll down slowly so you guys can have a look, so you guys can see which questions you guys want me to solve. I will list all the chapters down in below in the YouTube based on the questions here. So if you guys want to see question 10s, for example, I will lay out 10 question 10s down there so you guys can skip forward and see how I solve these questions. But in the video I will solve each question very slowly and clearly, so you guys will understand what are we doing and practicing. So let's zoom the video up here a little bit. Okay, so let's go first questions right here. Let me bring my pen up and move my mic a bit out of my way. So let's make it blue. So the first question here is they asking factor the common factor out of each expressions. So the first question is they give me minus 25v4 and plus 10v with the power 3 and plus 30v with the power 2. So common factor is we need to find the number or the term that they can divide in each term. So let's make a line right here, because I found it easier for me when I put the line. When I divide it, I will put at the bottom. It's basically fraction, means I can take the number out. So first we need to focus on the numbers first, or we can call it coefficient. So first here we have negative 25. Next term is plus 10. Next is plus 30. So we're gonna find the number that can divide all of these 3 terms. So right away I can think it's gonna be negative 5. The reason I want to put negative 5 is because we have the negative in the first term here. I want to bring the negative term outside, and then it will be much easier and cleaner, because we do not want the negative number in the first term with the biggest degree. And then second term and third term is the same. We bring negative 5, and then now we focus on the variable. So here is v. So I see we have v with the power 4, v with the power 3, and v with the power 2. So we need to bring the v with the highest degree, but we can divide off all 3 terms. So I see right here we have the v with the power 2. Then I will take the v with the power 2 out here. So that means each term we're going to divide negative 5v2, negative 5v2 for every term here. So what does it give me? So first we're going to divide it by the first term here, then I will put negative 5v squared out, because I want to take them out of each term. Then that is really bad. So let's try that again. Square, and then follow with a bracket, and then we will have 5v squared minus, because negative 25 divided by negative 5 will give me 5. v4 divided by v squared will give me v2. And then now since I take the negative sign out and plus, the sign of between first and second term will change to negative sign. Then I take 10 divided by 5, I will have 2. And then v with the power 3 divided by 2, it's going to give me v, and then it follows again with a negative sign, because we have negative sign here, and this is positive sign, so they will change the sign when we divide or we do multiply. And then 30 divided by 5 will give me 6. And then v squared and v squared, they cancel out, so that means we do not have any v terms in this. So this is my answer for my first questions. Next, we're moving on to the second questions. If you guys want to give it a try, you can pause anytime, and then you can follow with me at the end to see what is the answer and work will be like. So feel free to pause anytime if you like to. So I'm just gonna work on this question 2 over here. So find the biggest number. It's gonna be 5, and then n4, n power 3, and n. I put n down. 5 to the power n, 5 to the power n. Since I divided 5n, then I will have 5n over here. Open bracket. 30 divided by 5, I will have 6. N power 4 divided by n power 1, I will have n with the power 3 plus 35 divided by 5 will give me 7. N squared plus 7. So that is my answer for second questions. So let's work with question 3 over here. So we need to find the biggest number to divide. So I'm gonna find, I see 9 here that I can divide because 54 divided by 9 is 6, 27 divided by 9 is 3, and 72 divided by 9 is 8. And then I cannot go anything further, so I put 9 here. And then with the x with the power 2 here. So I put 9x to the power 2. And then I'll divide through 4. It's going to be 6. X with the power 2 plus 3x plus 8. So that would be my final answer. Moving on to question 4. So for me, in this situation, I would love to rearrange for question 4 here. I would love to put the highest degree to the front, and the one with no term, I would like to bring it to the back. It's more easier for visualize. So in this case, we have 24k2 plus 72k minus 64. So that is what we're going to be rearranged like. And then now I need to find the number that can divide by all of these. So let's see here. Does 12 work? This divided by 2 works. 12 here, 7 is not work at all. So in this case, we're going to try. We will see. Let's divide it by 8 here for each term. So will give me 8, this will give me 9, this will give me 3, so that works. So that means I would bring 8 outside, and for k, I cannot bring anything out further beside the number. So 8 is the only options here. So I will have 3k squared for my first term plus 9k and then minus 8. So that is my final answer. Next is question 5 here. 12 uv2, so we have 2 variables of each term here, so it's a bit more complex. So let's see here. Let's work with the number first, shall we? So let's underline first so I can make it look like a fraction. So when I took the number out, it's much easier for me to know what number I bring it out. So let's go with 6 here, because 6 here is the smallest but also the biggest term that we can divide for each term here. And then for u, let's see, we have u raised with the power of 1, u raised with the power of 1, and u raised with the power of 2 here. So I can bring a u out. And for v, we have v squared is the lowest, so we can bring v squared out. So the number outside, we have 6 uv squared. Then 12 divided by 6 is going to be 2. And then uv squared will give me nothing in term variable for the first term. Then I'll follow with a plus sign. And then 18 divided by 6 will give me 3. U divided by u, they cancel out. v4 divided by v squared will give me v2. Minus 6 is 1. And then u here is going to be letter u. So that is my final answer. But in this case, when I taking out, I would like to write the biggest degree in the front. So I'll have 3v squared minus u plus 2 will be my final answer here. Okay, question 6 over here. So let's work on this. So I can do minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, and So that is the number there. Let's keep going to question 7. So let's bring with the highest degree outside. So as we can see here, we do not have any term that are the same. So in this case, we just only greatest common factor is going to be just the numbers, coefficient. So the only number we can divide it by is going to be 6 here. 6. So this will give me 6 outside the bracket. Then I'll have 5. A with the power of 4 plus 3b cubed plus 8. So that's my answer for question 7. Next over here, let's bring this to the front. So minus 14u 5v2 minus 49u v2 plus 56 uv. So let's find the number that we can take it out first. So first I can take negative sign out and negative 7. Negative 7 and then negative 7. And then in terms of variable of u, I can take variable u out, and the v, I can also take the v out. So this will give me negative 7 outside the bracket. I will have 2, and then u with the power of 4 and v plus 49 divided by 77, and it will give me v, and then I will have negative of 8 inside the bracket. So that is my answer for this. So that is how we do greatest common factor from question 1 to 8 to review you guys how we do this. So moving on to question 9 here, all the way down. The factor is getting more complex. It will be involved in many different things. It can be greatest common factor, difference of square, perfect square trinomial, inspection or decomposition. It's really a variety, as you can see down here as we go down towards with many more questions. So let's go each question together. Again, feel free to pause anytime to work for yourself first, and then you can come back and then play the video to check your answers and the process. So let's work with a few questions here. So I'm just going to take the x out. So question 9, I will have x, I bring it out to the bracket, and I will have x plus 6. Question 10, I have 3x squared minus 27x. The number that I can take out for both terms is going to be 3, and then x. Then I'll have x minus 9, because 27 divided by 3 will give me 9, and the x divided by x will cancel out, so I do not have any more term for my second term. So the answer is 3x with the open bracket is x minus 9. Next, we're gonna work with 3 terms in this standard form of equation here. So first off, I would like to take a negative sign out. So I'll have x squared minus 15x plus 50. And here is a bit more tricky parts going on that we need to using inspection to factor. So inspection is where we only use the number of the third term, because the first term is 1, so we do not really need to worry about it. So 50 here and negative 15 is the key number here. So the point here is inspection is we need to find 2 numbers that multiply give me 50, and when I add both of that number together, it will give me negative 15. So because when we factor, we at the end will have 2 brackets. So it will be, it need to be 2 number over here that when we add or minus will give me minus 15. So let's give a different trial here. So 50, I can have 50 and 1, or negative 50 or negative 1, because negative 50 times negative 1 will also give me positive 50. 50 times 1 also give me 50. But when we add together, this will give me 51. But when negative 50 minus 1 will give me negative 51. So that is not right. So let's erase it. So that option is not correct. Let's think about different options. Let's see 5 and 10. But wait, some people would say, what about 2 and 25? That is correct, because 2 and 25 is also another option, or negative 2 or negative 25. So 2 times 25 will give me 50. Negative 2 times negative 25 also give me positive 50. Let's add them all, each row together, to see if we have negative 15. 25 plus 2 will give me 27. That's not right. Negative 2 plus negative 25 will give me negative 27. So that is not right. So this option is not correct. So let's scrub them out. And then next we have is 5 and 10. And then negative 5 and negative 10. So let's add them all together. So 5 plus 10 will give me 15, which is not right because the number in the middle is negative 15. And then negative 5, negative 10 will give me negative 15. That is correct. So what do we do here? I'm going to put negative 5 and negative 10 in both of my brackets. Some of you ask, what would happen if I put negative 10 and negative 5 here? The answer is it doesn't matter, because when you expand it, it will give you the same answer as well. So the location or replacement of negative 10 and negative 5, it does not matter. And then here I will have is going to be x. So that is my final answer when I factor of the question given is negative x squared plus 15x minus 50. Next, let's go with this question. So this question is a little bit more tricky. We have only 2 terms, but we can factor more further. So just to give you a hint, this form is difference of square. Remember, difference of square is where a minus b times a plus b, and then when we FOIL, we will have a squared plus ab minus ab minus b squared. Then plus ab minus ab, they will cancel out. Then I will only have a squared minus b squared. Same thing here. We have first term square, and the last term is also square, but we also have negative sign here and negative sign there, so that means this is perfect for a difference of square. The only thing is we need to find what is the square root of 81. Some of you shouting out like, it's 9. That is correct. So 81 is the perfect square of 9. So therefore, when we factor it out, we will have n plus 9 and then n minus 9. So that is the answer for question 12. Next, question 13 is where we gonna do greatest common factor again. So I will have n outside the bracket, and then n plus 5 will be my final answer. X squared plus 8x. Then I will have x plus 8. It's going to be my final answer. Then here is where we coming back to inspection again. We need to find the number that multiply, that give me 42. But when we add together, it will give me positive 13. So let's give it a try. I will always put the 2 bracket first here, and then I know the b square will remain the same, so I was just gonna put b in the first term of both brackets. Then I just gonna find the number that give me 13. So the only option here is 6 and 7, because when they multiply together give me 42, but when I add, it's also give me 13. So therefore I'm going to use this number as b plus 6 and b plus 7. These is the answer for the question 15. Next is also inspection of a squared plus 7a minus 8. Give it a try to see if you can figure this one out. This is pretty simple. So pause the video if you want to give it a try, and then come back to check the answer. Okay, so after you try, so this should be simple. So I would try to put two brackets down first, a and a, which is to give me a squared. I need to find a number, give me -8 when multiply, and then plus 7. So in this case, I will have a minus 1 plus 8. 8 minus 1 give me 7, minus 1 times 8 give me -8. So that is my answer. Next question is m squared plus 11m plus 30. Again, we're gonna keep two brackets and then put the m in first because it's m squared, because when it times together give me m squared. We need to find a number here to give me add to 11. So the only option I have is m plus 5, and m plus 6 is my final answer here. Question 18, the number is getting bigger for inspection, but the process is exactly the same. So I put x in the first term of both brackets. Then I need to find a number that give me -35 when multiply, and adding give me -2. So in this case I have x plus 5 and x minus 7. So that's my answer. Oh, this is going to be more interesting because now we have more different terms here. But don't because of the term will make you feel difficult. So first we have m squared. I do know that I would need to keep m squared. The n squared is where I also put n. The reason being is because at the end when we multiply n times n will give me n squared as well. And then when m times n will give me mn. And then same thing here is mn. When we plus, that will give me numbers. So don't worry. So this is where we need to set up for mn and mn. So now I need to focus on a number where multiply give me 35, and then adding, they will give me -12. So I give you a bit of time to work on it. And the answer is -7, -5. So -5, -7, it gave me 12. -7 times -5 give me 35, so that is my answer. Next is I also have two different terms. Same idea. When we factor, I always put two brackets down first. The first term of each bracket is always the first term of the standard form, is m squared, so m and m. The last variable, since this question is given, is n squared. I do know that the last term always have the variable of n. Now I need to figure out the number. Multiply give me 20 and adding give me 9. So I'll have 5n and 4n. Both of them will be positive. Scroll down a little bit down here. So we have a couple more questions here to go. In this case, we're going to take the 3 out because each term we can divide it by 3 because they're our greatest common factor. So I take 3 out. Then we will have a squared minus 4ab minus 5b squared. So this is not really necessary to use composition or decomposition because it takes too much step. By doing greatest common factor is much easier. So now the number is much more smaller, so we can actually factor them out much easier. So now let's do the same thing again here. Break them up to two different brackets, a, b, because we have first term is a squared, so it has to be 2a in the front. B squared, the b has to be standing at the end. So now we need to find a number is -5 when multiplied together and -4 when adding together. So the answer is a plus b and a minus 5b. So that is my answer. Next, question 22. I can bring the x out. That is for this question. And then I will have x with open bracket, x plus 6y. That will be my final answer. Okay, next question. This is where the numbers that we cannot divide at all because greatest common factor here does not work. So in this case, we would need to do decomp. That's the shortest way to say decomposition, but okay, decomposition is where we take the first term, multiply the third term, which is 9 times 4. So 9 times 4 give me 36. Then we need to find a number that multiply give me 36, but when we add together give me 12. So add together give me 12. So let's see here. Oh, I can have a hint right away. 6, because 6 times 6 give me 36, and 6 plus 6 give me 12, so that is perfect. So in this case, so when we multiply together, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 plus 6 is 12, then just gonna delete this bracket right here. So this question 23 is where we cannot do greatest common factor because each of the number here we cannot divide by any number. So in this case we need to do decomposition. It's where we're going to take 9 times 4, which is we take the first number of the term times the third term, which is 9 times 4 give me 36. Then we need to find a number, multiply together, give me 36, and then when we add together give me the second term, which is 12. So in this case we have 6 times 6 is 36, but 6 plus 6 also give me 12. Voila! So that is perfect. So in this case, let's put the number down. So follow the equal sign. I'll have 9n squared plus 6n. So we bring all the 6 together inside, plus 6n plus 4. So what you do next is let's change the color here. We're gonna start to just put a bracket here. Basically we separate 4 terms, first 2 terms in one bracket and last 2 terms in different bracket. Now what we do is we do greatest common factor. We need to find a number to take of each term out. So here we will have 3n. So I will have 3n plus 2 plus what number we can take out is going to be 2. We have 3n plus 2. Here is the critical part for decomposition. When you do greatest common factor of these 2 brackets, when you take it out, 2 of this bracket has to be the same. If 2 of this bracket are not the same, that means there's something wrong. It's either the process you do here is not correct, or the greatest common factor you're doing out here is not fully complete. So that is something you need to keep in mind. So once we have greatest common factor here, we're going to put 3n plus 2 in one bracket, and then another 3n plus 2 in bracket. So if 2 of this bracket they are the same, we only need to write once, and then the number outside the bracket that's there in front, we put them in the new bracket. So therefore we have 3n plus 2 times 3n plus 2. And then this will give me 3n plus 2 squared. Because they are identical, I just want to put them 3n plus 2 squared, which is the final answer here. So that is decomposition. So that's something a bit complex. Now let's do this question 24 here. There are difference of square. So difference of square, this is going to give me 3k minus 1, and then 3k plus 1. Because both terms they are perfect square, because 1 times 1 also give me 1, 9k squared is also perfect square of 9k squared, because this will give me 3k. Difference of square is where we have two terms and the sign in the middle is negative and we do not have the middle term. So this is where we know is the difference of square. Question 25 is also difference of square because we have 16 is perfect square, 9 is also perfect square, and b square also perfect square, and we have the negative sign and this doesn't have the middle term. So therefore this will give me a difference of square factoring. So this will give me 4b minus 3 and 4b plus 3. Oh, this 4 is a bit ugly, let's fix that. So this is the answer. Next, question 26. Then I will have also difference of square method for factoring. So this will give me 2v minus 1, 2v plus 1. So that is my final answer for 26. Okay, this question 27 is where a little bit more complex here. So it's also decomposition. Let's see if we can take any number out. We cannot. So the last step is we just take 5 times 42. 5 times 42. Let's out in my head is going to be 10, 0. That's going to be 210. And then you need to find a number that gives me minus 37 when you add together. But when you time, it's going to be 210. The number times, and then you add, give me 37. So this is where I would need the calculator here. So let's see. So 210 210 does not work. So after calculation, the two number that works is going to be 30 and 7, but it's not positive 30 and 7. It's going to be minus 30 and minus 7, because minus 30 times minus 7 give me 210. But when I take minus 30, add minus 7, plus and minus, they become negative. So when you add together of these two terms, it will give me minus 37. So this is the right number. So now we're going to put the number in. So first we have 5k squared. We're going to put these two terms in. So I have minus 30k and then minus 7k plus 42. Now let's change the marker here, the pen. I put them in different brackets, separate brackets. And then we gonna factor them by greatest common factor. I can take 5k out, then I will have k minus 6, then minus 7, I will have k plus 6, minus 6, oh, minus 7, yes. This will become negative because we take negative 7 out, so that will give me negative 6 here. So therefore we have two of the same brackets. Then I will have 5k minus 7 in the bracket, and k minus 6 will be my final answer. It's always good if you want to check the answer is you're gonna FOIL. So we're gonna expand again. So let's check here. Minus 7 times minus 6 give me 42. Good. 5k times k give me 5k squared. Good. Then 5k times negative 6 is minus 30. Minus 7 times 1 is minus 7. Minus 30 minus 7 give me minus 37. Okay, that's perfect. So this is my final answer, is correct. Next, we're gonna work with the number is a little bit bigger and more complex. So we're gonna do the same thing. 3 times 63 is gonna be 189. 189, we're gonna find a number That gives me 44. So I'm gonna bring out my calculator. Is not correct, but 189. There we go. So now we have 189 is equal to 7 times 27. Will give me 189, but when I add 7 and 27, it also gave me 34. So this is correct. So now I put a number down, is 3n squared plus 27n plus 7n plus 63. Now we're gonna factor it out. We will have 3n, n plus 9 plus 7. Oops, I did not meant to write bracket there. So let's erase that, and then we have 7 n plus 9. Two brackets the same, then we will have n plus 9 times 3n plus 7. So that will be two brackets there. So that is the answer for question 28. Next, we're gonna keep working on for more decomposition questions here. Sorry, my mouth is running dry. Let me drink some water. Feel free to pause the video so you can know how to solve this question correctly, and then you can play the video again. So let's find the number here. So when you solve this, you should have 2x and x in one bracket, and then plus sign, then you will have 7 and 5. So that is your final answer for this factoring form for decomposition. Next, we're gonna find 3x squared minus 26x plus 35. So I give you a bit of time to work on this. X. And we're gonna find a number, negative sign here. So the final answer is gonna be 3x minus 5 and x minus 7. Let's double check. 3 times 7 is negative 21, minus 5, minus 21 minus 5 give me minus 26. So this is my final answer. Okay, 31 here is getting a bit bigger. I need to check my calculator. Let's see if we can actually divide it by 42 for each term. So let's take 342 divided by 42. It does not work. So let's try the number a bit smaller. So 42 divided by 7 worked, and 342 divided by 7 does not work. So let's try 6. 6 worked. It does work. Okay, so let's take 6 out as our greatest common factor. 6. Then we have 7v squared minus. Let's bring out the calculator again. It's 342 divided by 6 is 57. So I have 57v plus, I believe that is 56, but let's double check here. Yeah, it's 56. That's 56. So now we're gonna do decomposition factor. So I have 6 and 7v minus and v minus. Now I need to find a number. Find a number. So I will have 7v minus 8 and v minus 7. Let's double check. 7v times v give me 7v squared. That's correct. Minus 8 times minus 7 give me 56. That's also correct. 7 times 7 give me 49, and then 8. That's going to be perfect. So that is my final answer for decomposition. So if you want to know the step-by-step again, please feel free to come back to question 23 and question 27, where I show you guys how to do decomposition, because decomposition is one of the hardest factoring in this level for factoring knowledge that we had been covered. in grade 10 or foundation 11. So 3 more questions. Let's go through this quickly. So 7, 57, 56. We cannot divide it by any numbers to get it lower. So in this case, we have to keep going by doing factor of decomposition here. So I have 7m and m. Now let's find a number that have the same. So the hint is I have the same number 57 here. So I have 7m minus 8 and m minus 7. So that is my final answer for question 32. Question 33 and 34 here is much more simple. It's just more of to cooling down your brain of all of this hard work. So let's bring out the number out. So I will have 7n. So we have 7n is not right. I was doing wrong. So let's take 2 out because both can divide by 2. 2n is 7n plus 9. 2n times 7 is 14n squared. 2 times 9 is 18n, so that's my correct answer. Last questions is we need to do decomposition again. So let's use the knowledge once we have been done so far. Find a number. So let's find a number here. So 49, 7, 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, so 49 is basically the only option we have is 7 and 7, because other option is 49 times 1 is 49 and 7 times 7 is 49. So that's the only option. And now we just play around the sign. So we have 2n minus 7 and n plus 7. So 14 minus 7 will give me 7n. So that is my final answer there. Again, just to give you guys heads up, decomposition, many people have different way to solve it. This is just one of the way of how most of people solve to factor the decomposition method. But if you have different method, please feel free to let me know. I would love to know how do you do this, because there are so many ways to do. But anyways, this is the video of how to review of factoring, what you guys been done, because in rational expression, next episode we will cover a lot of new material and a lot of involving factoring. So I hope this video is helpful, and leave me any comments down below if you have any question or anything you'd like me to go through again, and I will see you in the next episode.